Hello and welcome to our session 34, I think. 34 of East Texas University, using the Savage Worlds rule set. And we're just going to pick right up where we were when we left off last. Our intrepid college students are enmeshed in a battle to destroy a few small canoptic urns full of fetishes, personal items, while combating a mummy, a ghoulish form of a former Nazi torturer, scientist, doctor, and head of one of the places behind bars with the World War II areas where bad things happened. And we are good to go. We are in the middle of combat. I've been displaced by my fiancée to another room, so all of my notes aren't exactly at hand. I grabbed what I could, and I hightailed it out. So she was on a Zoom session. I seem a little frazzled. It's because the scheduling was tight, but we managed to wrestle OBS from the technology gremlins that tried to delay us a little bit today. But we are good to go. Going to jump right in. We had gotten to the end of, it looked like round 5, with a Golem completed his attack on Heimglimmer. And let's go to the next round. Next round has Dr. Franz Heimglimmer, the desiccated undead form, trying desperately to complete a ritual that will give him eternal life as a living human, other than the form that he is in now, of undeath. He's at the top with the Queen, and then the Golem, in which he is in combat, and then the college students following up. Let me go and reset our bennies. Bring up the party sheet, reset some bennies, top everybody off nicely.
Beautiful, beautiful bennies.
Yes. Manna from heaven.
Of which Shep is going to spin one to try to get better than the two.
Yeah, and I'm embarrassed to say that in my frazzled and decaffeinated state, I'm still trying to remember what did the where did the Nazis do their concentration camps? Of course, that is the phrase that I was.
That's the one.
Sadly, was struggling to come up with in the recesses of my memory. Shep drew an action card. Shep bettered his place
by one.
Shep
continues Nightsteed's inability to get high up with drawing a card from the thing.
Well, at least you can say you're no longer at the bottom of the order with a 2. You're now at the bottom of the order with a 3. Ladies, would either of you...
in the same suite. That's what's funny to me. It's the same suite.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
Right. Sophia and Ava, would either of you like to try your luck?
Fine.
I think I'll stay where I am for now.
Okay. Ava taps the imaginary tabletop and says, I'll stay pat. But if Sophia would like to draw another card with a Benny, I'm all for it.
Oh, I'm fine where I'm at.
Okay. Then we will go.
I can't find the map.
I will share it with you. It would be my pleasure to share that map. And again, I'm still... You can
always click on the combat tracker and double click on your token, and it helps to pop up wherever we're active too.
Mm-hmm. And I found also, if you bring up your character sheet and you click on the upper right-hand corner icon, I think you double left mouse click, that will also bring up the map where your token currently is.
That's the one I was trying to do, and it wasn't working.
Oh!
I don't know.
Well, I know for sure the combat one works.
Sophia, you've got far too many bennies in that tray.
No, I
see.
don't.
Just
I have the right amount of bennies
just mentioning as an
that I
aside.
was meant to have.
We'll have to see about burning some of those.
You know, I
Life
learned my
and
lesson a whole
destiny have
month
given me
high.
these bennies. It was meant to be.
The benevolent DM offering us bennies when we need it most.
You know, I only offer them just because of innovative ideas, intuitive puzzle solving, piecing together parts of a story that I fed you in dribs and drab. That sort of aha moment when things just kind of lock together, like a complex section of a puzzle. Good role playing, doing something that may be counterintuitive from a min-max sense, but makes sense from the perspective of your character. So you might say I award bennies. I like to think of it more as you earn these bennies, these little chips that allow you to re-roll, if you wish, damage or an attack roll, or gain an item that you wish you had on your person, but you sadly left behind. Things like that. Benny's the coin of the realm. Sophia, you see the mummy step back, and you see it turn its head to you for a moment, and then it turns its head to the back bedroom, and it opens its mouth and sprays a gout of what looks to be beetles out of its mouth. I will give the golem just an opportunity attack just to see what it manages to do. Okay, on a D10, I rolled a 10, a 10, and a 9.
He tripped him and sat on it.
Wow. Wow, that might be the highest attack roll I have ever seen. Looks to be a 29. Reduced a little bit. But yeah, probably in retrospect, that blow, while not inflicting any injuries upon the mummy, who is invulnerable in its current state, did send it back about 12 feet. Just for flavor. As there are still fetishes under its control, the mummy is invulnerable. Let's see, pop the little red pennant back up to Franz Heimglimmer. I need to move some stuff around here a little bit. NPCs, actually it's under the is it under NPCs? Oh, let's see. Probably put it under my customs. That's odd. The last update of Fantasy Grounds looks like it may have reordered some of the pull-down menus, which is why I'm kind of going up and down and all around. NPCs, characters, abilities, items. Just looking for my swarm. I'm just having just a devil of a time finding it. I'll just do a quick lookup. Okay. Seems to have found it. Drop a swarm onto the combat tracker. Should have put it at the bottom. It certainly did. I don't recognize the icon. I'll have to blow that up and see what it looks like.
Whoa.
Oh, okay. I mean, it looks like rats. That's fine. Assume it to be beetles. And they will act on the next round. Because that's where he's placed them. The Golem, being a mindless entity, will approach Heimglimmer again. Try a slam. Another 10, followed by a 1. It's a 9.
Goodness.
Managed to hit. Does no damage.
Working so hard.
Okay, down to the lower half of the order. We'll go to Sophia. Sophia standing, trying to make her way past a truck that is wedged in the doorway. Took out like half the front of the house. What would you like to do?
I want to go around, and I'm assuming the swarm is in my way. I'm trying to get into the room with Ava.
Yes, the swarm and the combat of a large clay man and the mummy. The mummy is only human-sized, of course, being the mortal remains of Franz Heimglimmer. But the Golem, he's a beefy boy. He's tall and broad, while only occupying a 6 foot by 6 foot square. He's got some breadth to him. Certainly you could walk through. I mean, it's just some beetles.
Well, but they're gross.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'd like make a smarts roll at +1.
Sure. Okay.
You're gross.
Well, yeah.
There's a difference.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
On a 10, these look like scarabs.
I've seen the mummy.
Yes. They're,
I've seen the mummy.
their body is, excuse me, their body seems to be segmented just a little bit differently than just a beetle. And each one does sport some pincers. And there are dozens, if not a couple of hundred of them, swarming around. Some of them still crawling down Heimglimmer's chin, the ones that didn't get expelled forward. It's quite gross, all in all.
I want to use my lighter on the swarm, so I'd be casting Bolt.
Very good. Target them, and it is what is it, the Bic lighter from hell?
Yes.
Or something like that. Was it called a Bic? I think it was called a Bic lighter from hell.
No, the Zippo.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The
The
Zippo.
Zippo lighter.
Zippo from hell. Target that swarm. I'd like you to make a... How do we activate such a thing?
It says
Is it smarts?
smarts times 2 is the range.
Degrees
Got damage dice,
of horror.
but I don't know what to use, how to hit. If it hits automatically, I'll take it.
I believe it does. Smarts.
Does it
It's a
work like soup?
yeah. Is it smart straight up?
Fire soup. I have my own soup.
Excuse me, sir. Your soup.
Two wizards.
Your soup is getting cold. Can I warm it up for you a bit?
Yes. We can
Flambe.
combo, Shep.
I'm
Make your
surrounded
soup
by
extra
wizards.
Do, do.
All right.
Sure. Make that a. Oh,
Make the what?
I see. It popped up, but without a roll. I see bolt, magic lighter. I think the smarts roll that is showing on the parchment was your smarts to recognize the scarabs. So I believe you need to make a smarts roll straight up.
Okay. Wait, that's the wrong. Sorry.
Good gracious, that was a lot of rolls. Oh, okay. It was a spirit roll, which you aced.
Yes, I
And
clicked on spirit.
smarts. There was a whole field of bubblegum pink dice casting across the table.
Assume I can just drop my damage.
Yeah, I think you dropped the damage right on the swarm. Oh, it's a tough swarm. Those beetles encased in their little tiny armor. Very.
No.
Oh, and one thing I had probably known but forgotten, a swarm has a pace of 10. It's very fast. It doesn't have a great parry.
It's faster than me.
But boy, it's tough. Yes, with just a degree of satisfaction, a smirk perhaps appears across your face for a moment as you activate that Zippo from hell, and a gout of flame just immerses that area right in front of you. And it's kind of like that scene from the Terminator where the truck explodes at the end, and as the flames subside just a little bit, the Terminator comes walking out of the flame. It's kind of like that. The flame goes away, and there's still just a mass of these little segmented-bodied beetles scurrying around.
That's horrifying.
I imagine, just for your own edification, they make this hideous little chirping sound.
Oh gosh.
Just a little bit scary.
They sound like cicadas.
Yeah. Squeak, squeak, squeak. And speaking of squeak, Ava, it's your turn.
Last I remember, she was in the closet and she found the urns, and she's just trying to break them.
You broke one. You weren't sure. You weren't sure what to do as you were in this room, and there were no urns that were immediately in your field of view. There was a bed in here. There was a cultist that was scrambling to open a window, probably to escape, to climb out, to flee to whatever safety she might be able to find. But Shep, outside the window, broke the window with one clean overhead slam of this crowbar, had enough gumption on that swing after sundering the window to slay her, basically crushed her skull, and she slid bleeding down the wall. I believe Shep might have also had something snarky to say about not messing with his girlfriend, maybe something like that.
And Shep just doesn't like teachers this semester.
Yeah. So you didn't see these urns, but then you slid open the bifold closet door. It's not a bifold; it doesn't fold out. It's the whole panel slides. There are probably two panels on a track that can slide one behind the other. And yeah, you looked in and there were two of those canoptic urns. You grabbed one, you raised it mightily above your head, slamming it to the tile floor. It's kind of a good thing this room isn't carpeted, but it did shatter it and spilling out the contents that don't surprise you a single bit. These are relics that were formerly owned by the unfortunate, the Jews, the gypsies, those probably with like learning defects, political prisoners. The classic classification of those that the Nazis sent to their doom in the ovens. These were items that were held dear to them: a prayer book, a small rag doll belonging to a child, a tooth, a Star of David that would have been part of a necklace at one time, perhaps a bone of a finger or a toe, a lock of hair, perhaps a locket, a small piece of jewelry.
Breaking it free
Items
from
like that.
the
Items
urn.
like that.
We
A glass eye.
had deduced that breaking it from the urn is what could help us weaken the mummy Heimglimmer, I think, right?
No, in point of fact, the urn was simply a handy contrivance for porting a lot of them as a group.
Oh, okay.
It isn't just
They
the
have
act
to be
of freeing them from the urn. You have to physically
okay.
destroy them. And you know this from being at It's a Lock storage facility, where some of the items, you burn using a brazier with hot coals in it. Some of the items there are very well disposed to just burning on impact with flame, like the little rag doll, the prayer book, for example. Other items were harder. You almost had to grind up a glass eye, a finger or a toe bone of some type, maybe a tooth. These are items that were more flame resistant, but just good old, mortar and pestling them destroyed them.
Okay.
And these items are old, so I don't think there is anything that could withstand being ground up in that manner.
Well, since I've broken one so far, I would like to break the other one, just so that all the contents are easily identifiable on the floor for us to deal with. Because I do remember calling out that I found them so that Sophia and Shep were aware that, okay, we found these urns, we have this stuff, like, now we can deal with it as we see fit in the moment. So I will break that urn.
Shattering the
remaining
second urn over top of the remnants of the first ceramic urn is an easy matter. Even although you're diminutive, raising it 4.5, 5.5 feet in the air, just slamming it
like
down
a
on
good
that
5 feet,
that cold tile shatters, and you hear this chittering sound from around the corner. And probably you just for a moment, you see the illumination of a flame. And Sophia, I would like you to tell me what the command phrase is that you use to activate that zipper from hell.
I mean, I kind of want it to just be simple,
Well, you were not the
Yeah.
you were not the creator of the Zippo from hell.
Oh, wait a minute, that's right. We discussed this before.
This
Oh,
was
dear.
like literally at the end of the last game. It was like.
Yep. It was like, and
yeah, I was like, I'm not there and I can't help you. I'm sorry.
and I have whispers activated at my site, so I can see if you try to whisper the command word.
Oh. What was it, like El Diablo?
What do you think it was? I mean, you could probably, while trying to activate this,
something about a devil. Something about
you,
devil.
I'll give you 3 shots.
Oh no! Damn it!
And I will take one of those shots. It is not hell Diablo.
Enunciate. Bring out your inner Puerto Rican. You
It
can do
wasn't. I know it was Spanish.
it.
Come on, I have a D4 in Spanish, and Shep remembered.
Damn it.
Yes. That's right. That it was that cultist at the Columbarium, which I'm very pleased that I've remembered that phrase 2 sessions running. That area where all the burial urns with the ashes
There we go.
in the middle of that cemetery.
Did
was a
I leave a
cultist.
note? Did I make a note for myself?
Did you write it down?
No,
I'm trying to find it.
all I remember is you went, "Oh yeah," because I did tell you last week.
You did. You did.
Oh.
You did. And then we talked
One
about
time. The one time I don't write notes down. See? This is what happens.
I'm definitely not looking for the video.
Not going to give you that long. Actually, I'm looking for my little image of a swarm that I can drop to change these rats into something a little more to my liking. I think it's spiders, but they change
Just
things
remember
around.
what
So
he told you.
Fuego.
oh, that I mean, there you go.
I'm half right. I got half there.
That's a good thought. I won't.
Fuego.
I'll say
Fuego
something.
Norte.
I'll say something like, "Is that your final answer?" To take. To this,
Oh,
I mean,
that's-
this is happening in the expanse of 6 seconds,
Oh,
but
man.
it's just so much fun to
Yeah.
see the player squirm.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
I feel like I'm real life having a negative +2 to my notice.
Well, you have,
right
you know,
now.
your character does have.
embodying Sophia in every way possible. It's in character.
Oh no!
You do have ADHD, so all right. Let's see if that swarm so much nicer, so much nicer.
Oh, okay. It's in a second. It's gonna come to me. It's gonna.
Okay, you said.
I believe in you, friend.
You said hell, Diablo, and it did not activate it. What is your second guess?
Oh, I so want to play charades here.
Can we? Fuego Diablo.
Sparks little.
This seems to be working a little bit.
I'm close.
One
I
more.
have it. I'm close.
One. It's got a little stylized devil on the bottom of this lighter, where there's probably an aperture, maybe a little screw that you open up that lets you refill it. If it was a normal lighter, which this is not. There's a little stylized devil head. Actually, it's like the whole body of a little devil.
The lighter is shaped in the body of a devil.
No, it looks like a regular Zippo lighter. One of those old. It's like from the 20s or the 30s, like the era of the flappers, where when you lit a lady's, long cigarillo, you flipped open the cap, and it's a nice, shiny kind of brass. It's got a little heft to it. Probably for its size, weighs a couple of ounces. It's beautiful, inlaid with some sort of filigree of gold around the seams. So don't think of don't think of the plastic Bic lighter. Think of the classic, the millionaire lighting up a cigar with the large lighter with a little devil. If you flip it upside down, there's a little devil insignia on the bottom of it.
You got one of these fancy boys.
Fuego something.
5, 4, 3, 2,
This is so hard.
1.
I'm sorry.
So,
I'm sorry.
So Ava, you do hear the.
No, it's me. I'm just really wanting to help.
I'm sorry.
Ava, you hear the chitter, 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 but you do not see a burst of flame as the dean is sadly forced to roll back and retcon I mean, we'll say some sparks came out of it, perhaps a little flame that failed to launch.
An
A-
effort was made.
Ava, you've slammed all of these.
I'm gonna get it.
All of these little.
Can I do just a two thing charades for her just to see if she gets it?
No, because I'm looking forward to doing this again in a round's time.
No.
There are fetishes in and around your feet. I'm going to put them like in the 6x6 square that is to your character's right. Looks like you're half in, half out of a square. It's like the one to your right is where these.
The closest to Shep.
Yeah, these are. And Ava, you heard like Hell Fiago, Hell Diablo,
Sophia's just
Diablo
screaming at the
Inferno.
locker.
You heard with an extreme level of agitation, Sophia like screaming these phrases. And if you would like to react as a free action, I will certainly permit it. Over the chittering of these beetles that are kind of coming around the corner at you.
Oh no. If there's something that's trying to come in here, I don't want it to come in here. I don't want to, but I also don't want to lock Sophia out there. I'm tempted to close the door.
Roll me a smarts roll.
Oh wait, no, they're small. It's gonna go under the door. Oh,
They are pretty flat.
Okay. Do I want to try and burn these things, or do I want to try and burn the weird scarabs around the corner? I guess, because I think I still have the little Windex flamethrower she made that she MacGyvered. I don't remember if she still has a shot at that or not. But I do remember she crafted that little thing, put it together.
Sure. I mean, you obtained it from the bathroom a little bit to your northwest.
Yes. Perfect. Okay. Well, I think our priorities lie in the contents of the urn, so I think I'm gonna turn around and aim my chemical fire at the contents on the urn so that we can weaken this guy down, because we're still in a very scary situation.
I would permit you to do that with a. Well, let's make it a science roll. This is very much like a science project. This is to sort of ignite. I remember looking up. Is ammonia flammable or something like that? So.
Oh yes.
Oh, blinded with science. You've been blinded with science as that stack of bennies just starts to dwindle ever so slightly.
How dare it roll the exact same number? I'm going to do one more because this is important.
Now, let me tell you, it's okay. It's going to take a shooting roll also.
There it is.
This activates the flame. Good heavens, Miss Ava, you're beautiful. With apologies to Thomas Dolby, one of the earliest MTV videos. Yes, a 9, a gout of flame. Now let's see a little shooting roll. Now, it's not hard to hit this square, but I'm always looking for a crit fail.
All right. I was not expecting that, but I'll take it.
Very good. Very good indeed. To your satisfaction, as expected, the items you suspect would go up immediately upon being torched do so. However, some of the items are a bit more hardy in their construction, and while they may flame a little bit, I don't know if a desiccated finger bone would be set alight. I think it would. Doesn't burn as readily as, say, the paper or cloth goods.
Yeah, that's fair. But everything else that was at least hopefully burned to something.
Okay. And as a free action, I would let you say something if you wish to, having heard what has gone on outside over the chitter, chitter, chitter of these little black insects that seem to be coming around the corner into the room. If not, I'm more than happy to have you advance your turn.
I think I'm okay. Well, I want to shout out that I've burned most of the things, but I need help breaking the rest. That will be my free action shout out.
Very good. If you would like to advance to Shep.
Of course.
Shep, you're outside the building. I think you went...
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know what that little dot is that I just dragged. I don't know. I don't think it matters.
I know when we left, I was attempting to go in to the build through the window.
Yes.
So I guess that's what I will do.
Refresh my memory. I think you broke the window.
I broke the
that was
one...
cat a corner
yeah.
to where you are. And then you moved around to this because I think you judged it to be a safer ingress.
Something like that. Or I was able to open that one from the other side.
I think you were hoping that the cultist had managed to flip the lock on this window before you killed her by hitting her through the other window. So it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I would like to try to go through the window.
It slides open readily. This is an egress style window to match construction standards. It has to be big enough to let you escape from it. But you're doing that in reverse. You climb through the window.
I've still got my handy dandy coat iron, whatever it was, crowbar.
It was a tire iron.
Yeah,
tire iron.
So I'm just going to find anything that looks like it could be... Does anything on the ground right now look like it could be broken physically, by physical means?
So I'm trying to put this...
Because I know she burned what could be burned.
I'm having a hard time. It's this square right here, that one square right there. Yeah, there are... I mean, the flame burns hot and fast. There are some ashes and remnants of sparks of things that were set alight. Certainly, there are other things that did not burn. Pieces of jewelry, a tooth, amidst many fragments of a broken canoptic urn times 2.
Let me ask this before I start trying to pound something into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know there's been times that we've described my soup as, basically melting things apart, and other times like shredding things. Would Shep think that would actually work on these?
Sure it would. It's a combination of scalding hot bouillabaisse soup, but it also contains many little jagged pieces of oyster and clam shell and lobster shell, little serrated edges that also do damage.
Okay, then he's
They
gonna.
don't stay long. They melt as if they were little
Yeah.
chips of ice that would melt in half a minute or so. And when you crawl in the window, you shimmy through the window, avoiding stepping on probably a body in its last throes of life and a bed, which is kind of got the headboard along the northern wall.
Okay. So I'm going to look at this stuff and go, it needs to be destroyed. And bouillabaisse.
Okay.
Let's see, that is my. Actually, been a while. That's my spirit roll to get it to work. Is that correct?
I think it's smarts.
No, well, no, mine was different. Trying to find my towers. Smarts is like for range. I thought it was.
I'm pretty sure that spirit is what you use to
Activate.
summon your
Okay.
great aunt's spirit.
Okay, that may be what I'm.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them are the same, but
I thought to activate
one.
a relic like this. Thought it was
It
smarts.
could be. I just could be misremembering. And I don't think I have it written down anywhere.
Yeah, we'll go with
Easily
smarts.
found.
We'll go with smarts.
I will be that.
A success. As your little stack of bennies start to become a little depleted.
Somehow ships always becomes depleted. And then I guess I just rolled the damage.
No, that's not necessary.
Okay.
All of you hear the hollow cry of no, a scream of pain and disbelief. Sophia, you actually see the ghoulish, mummified, desiccated form of Heimglimmer.
I have like receipts of the worst of this, don't I?
You see his as if he was physically weakened. You see him slump to a certain degree. You see a little bit of the skin flake off his form. You see the bright, fiery pinpricks of light in his eye sockets fade a bit. Shep, I will provide you with the same opportunity I provided with Ava. Having heard the Spanish coming from the other room, as a free action, I would let you say something loudly.
I just say really loudly to Ava, I know my Spanish is bad, but did she mean El Diablo?
Say that
You
next.
know?
I was gonna say that.
You were real close with the Hell Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
I said El Diablo.
We go to the next round.
I'm going to do charades with an L and then 2 devil horns. I was sitting on my hands.
Ooh, I got a joker.
I see a Joker. So all your friends get a Benny. You get a Benny. You're +2 at any
Lay down the Benny.
skill checks or attack rolls
Oh, and
you wish to do this
Golem
round.
won too.
Gollum got an ace.
But
Which
he
is-
beat Franz.
It's still pretty good, right? It's still pretty good. And Shep or Sophia, I would let one of you, or both of you, expend a penny for a redraw, if you would like.
I learned my lesson.
I have it.
Poor Shep at the bottom of the tracker. He's
Well.
just doing his best.
Sophia draws a card that's one below her current one. She gets to keep the highest, so she remains at a 7.
Oh
You know,
boy.
you know what they say about these bennies: easy come, easy go.
Out of all of us, you have the most to spend.
And the most to share.
And
Yeah.
Shep, I mean,
Sharing
that's just
is
my
caring.
phobia because
Sharing
I
is
rarely
friendship.
do it.
Sharing is friendship. Ava, you are at the very top of the round. You have a joker. What would you like to do?
Perfect.
You judge Shep to have obliterated the non-burning items at your feet.
Very good. I don't remember if our holy water guns are any use to us here or not. Would I have to roll to remember that? Because I personally do not remember if it would work.
Sure, make a smarts roll. I'll give you
Okay.
a +2 on this. Your smarts is
Okay.
quite high. I'd be surprised if you didn't make this roll.
Please, Ava. There it is.
Nice with the joker bonus. The user interface figures that in. You know that against undead such as this, that hitting it with holy water will distract or make it vulnerable, but not do any physical damage. But it will
Okay.
levy a quote unquote condition upon it.
That's good enough for me. Have my water gun pistol and just turn around with Chef and be like, let's go help Sophia and our dear friend the Golem out there, because I think we can do this now. I scoot over. See if I can get a clear shot at the mummy man.
Do you know the mummy man?
I know.
Make sure you target him. Target him and make that sweet ranged
Sure
attack.
will.
Ooh, that D4 aced. Ooh, you only need to hit with a 4 as your target number with this. And yes, you hit with a raise. Very good. Since you hit with a raise, I'm going to impose both distracted and vulnerable upon him. Seems only fair. Bring up my handy effects here. We'll drop a little distracted upon him. We'll drop a little vulnerable upon him. In fact, this is the first time he's been vulnerable, in a manner of speaking, in a great many years. I see distracted and vulnerable show up as conditions under him.
I see.
And
Awesome. I want to. Can I still use my movement after the fact, or?
Absolutely.
I always forget this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, you can divide it up any way that you like. Move and then do
Perfect.
something and then continue to move. The only thing I would say is if you choose to run, do so at the beginning of the round because that will impose a -2 running penalty upon anything else you wish to do.
I won't be running, but I will get out of the way so that Shep can have a chance to come through. Because we're a little bottlenecked over here, so I'll scoot over.
Okay. For free, I will tell you that the window above the toilet is open. You see that little toilet there? I think.
That's right. Okay.
Didn't you scurry through that window?
I did.
To get in? Okay.
I'll take that. I'll take my chance to go through that window then, so that I can get out of the way.
I mean, I'll cancel your move and you can redo it if that's what you wish. if that's what you wish to do.
So I'll scoot over. I have.
Sure.
Let me see. I have an 8 pace regularly, so I guess I'll use the rest of my pace.
It's so much easier to go out this window than it was to come in this window. That toilet just makes just the handiest little step stool to get up and shimmy your form
7,
right through that.
8. I think that's as far as I can go. Or actually, no, yeah, I think that's as far as I can go. So just going around the building.
I see. It's almost like a what's it called? A Chinese fire drill. You stop at the light, everybody gets out and runs around. That was from like the.
Oh,
Well, they used to do that in the 50s or the 60s or something. Maybe I saw it on Happy Days or something like that. I don't know.
Oh man, Happy Days.
I'm that old. I guess I saw those in the original run, not in syndication, mind you, but the original run. Yeah, sure. If that's what you would like to do, as you turn that corner, you see a truck sort of embedded in the front of this building.
Sophia's handiwork.
Sure. If you would like to complete that move, we will go to the golem.
At least it's not Shep's truck.
The golem targets Dr. Heimglimmer, and it I guess it's the first time it really matters. Make sure I'm not cheating it. I want to make sure that it only gets one attack. Construct. Okay. It's fearless. And it gets a slam. Okay. I'm not cheating it by only giving it one attack. I'm probably thinking of something else. He's targeting Heimglimmer. It's the look of dismay crosses the desiccated Nazi torturer's face as he realizes that he is now vulnerable to physical attacks. Good, I see the golem ignored one of his penalties, because it is also missing pieces. In fact, I think the mummy cleaved one of his arms off with this sword of energy that it was holding. A mighty crushing punch does 22 points of damage. Oh, that cannot be allowed to stand. The dean looks with dismay at the efficacy of the golem's hit.
A hard-working golem.
Hit with a ring. That was the water gun. I will remove that, just making sure that he remains distracted and vulnerable. And yeah, old Heimglimmer. Heimglimmer is listed as having 4 bennies. I cannot justify why he would have 4 bennies. I think it's because he had 2, and then when I reset bennies, maybe he got 2 more because we started in the middle of a combat round. So, in fairness to my players, who are always fair with me, I will reduce him to 2 bennies, and I will try to soak. He soaked 2 of those wounds. I don't think I'm going to get any better than that. So I'm going to apply that, giving him a wound. And shaking him. I need to quickly pull up Heimglimmer and see, as an undead, can he be shaken? I guess he can.
That's a good question.
Yeah, he can be shaken. But he's undead, so he does get a +2 to recover from being shaken. So that might come into play, and I'm glad that I took just a moment to look that up. That was the golem's attack. Would it like to move? I was going to say it might want to crush some of the swarm, some of the beetles, but no, it's a mindless automaton, dead set on justice, the destruction of what was
Makes
once
sense.
Frank Mann's, aka Franz Heimglimmer. Heimglimmer does see, I do see that +2 bonus to unshaking. It's an 11. He is no longer shaken. He is already targeting the golem. He attacks with that sword of hideous, toxic green, sparkling energy. He misses. I am going to Benny that. It's even worse. I dip into my Dean pool of bennies just to try, just one more time. Bring that back up. But the dice fall where they may. He misses. And he should not be distracted or vulnerable after the end of his turn. He says something like, "No, it cannot end this way. I am not complete." The swarm. It's going to move into Sophia's area. Okay, let's see. I wish this was stated a little bit differently. The end of their turn. What does that mean? Causing 2d4 damage to everyone in the template at the end of their turn. I'm going to say, not looking it up, that the end of their turn applies to the people that are inside the swarm. Because it takes a while for these hundreds of chittering, shiny, obsidian black beetles to crawl up Sophia's legs, looking for that very penetrable, soft flesh that they could just dig those. Are they called chiggers? Their little mandibles into to try to devour her flesh. So the swarm moves, completing its turn. Sophia happens to go to you.
Sophia got sand fleed.
I'm just screaming out, El Diablo, El Diablo, flicking the lighter.
This reminds you probably one time where you were hiking and you stumbled upon a nest of those Texas fire ants, those red fire ants that came pouring out of the ground, probably through half a dozen little apertures, little holes of their nest, and just started to swarm over you as you were dancing and swatting and trying to escape. I did hear El Diablo.
You did. You died. I'm assuming that's the right word. The right magic word.
Very good. I would like you to make a smarts roll to try to activate this. And I want to call it a relic. I know it's not the right word. The right word, I think, starts with an M, maybe? But call it a relic for now. A smarts roll of 9. Okay, that is a success with a raise. Since you got a raise, I'm not going to let you set your feet on fire. I will, however, allow you to do bolt damage by dropping it directly over the swarm. Boy, that damage really sucked.
Yeah, it did. It did.
It is definitely time for a Benny.
You know, yeah, that's what the bennies are for.
All the bennies.
Wait,
Okay, that was
wait,
unfortunate.
did I do that wrong? I did that wrong.
Yeah, I think you were trying to re-roll your damage.
So
In fact,
oh,
you hit with a raise, so I'm going to let you do 3d6 instead of 2d6. Let me bring up your character sheet real quickly. I think I can do that by going to powers and...
She could also just click the plus D6 stamp.
I grabbed
the
the
bottom.
dice.
Yeah. How do you... Oh, is it... Do I click in there? No.
What's happening?
I'm just playing a little bit.
If she clicks the plus dice down at the bottom, shouldn't that automatically add an extra D6?
It should.
Or I could like grab it, pick it up, and then right click it, and then it gives me 3 dice.
Yeah.
Does that work too?
Try dropping 3 dice onto the little square that says 2 dice is your damage.
Oh.
Or we'll just do it that way, and I'll see if I can apply 19 points. But I'm just curious how you...
That's a lot of damage.
You said 3 dice, so I grabbed it from where the powers.
Oh, that's how it would have been done. Okay.
Yeah, I grabbed it and I dropped it.
Yeah.
And then, good God.
Somebody flame tone.
Well, Sophia, you've always had a penchant for setting things on fire, I will say.
It usually works. It's been a reliable means of attack and defense.
I'll cancel.
Just a lot of things.
I'll cancel the damage of 3. I will cancel. I will apply. The swarm only has 1, so 3. Let's see if we get that oh so satisfying bloody smear. And we do. Although it looks like you're bleeding, Sophia, the blood is actually the swarm, which you have dispatched with the gout of flame from the Zippo from hell.